Seamus Coleman to start off with. Injury, so Everton captain Seamus Coleman was injured during Ireland's match with England, and he was taken off and obviously returned to Finch Farm and didn't play in their second international game. Don't think we know the full extent of the injury. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's been reports that have come out. Obviously concerning to see at the time, considering our lack of quality in that position, really.
Yeah, there's two aspects to look at this. From a selfish Everton point of view, you'd probably be trying to put Seamus in a situation where, well, hang on, we're paying your wages every week. And every time you go to Ireland, you're coming back injured or you're picking up little niggles. So that's from Everton's perspective. But if you were Seamus Coleman, you're going, well, why shouldn't I be allowed to go and represent my country? It's not my fault that you're relying on me as a first choice player to play Premier League matches at my age with my injury record. So there's a part of the blame's on Everton, why we should be heavily reliant on him. So in his defence, he should be saying, yeah, well, I want to represent my country and I've got no problem with representing my country. It doesn't matter how old I am. It doesn't matter how injury prone I am at the moment. I want to represent my country. Now, if Everton haven't made correct decisions in the transfer market in terms of recruiting a right back in the previous 5 or 6 years, that's not Seamus Coleman's problem. That's Everton's problem. The way that they've blown on money on Nathan Patterson, the way they've got Ashley Young, they've let Ben Godfrey go. All these right backs have come and gone, and Seamus Coleman's still the best there. So that's not his problem. That's Everton's problem. And I think Ireland and Everton are probably in a similar situation where there's arguably one of Everton's worst teams and probably one of Ireland's worst teams they've ever had, and they're both heavily reliant on Seamus Coleman, and that kind of says a lot for the state of where both of them are at, to be honest.
But when you're getting injured quite prolifically at this later stage of your career, I mean, just to start off with, like, let's put it out on the table. I think Seamus Coleman is still Everton's best right back by far.
Yeah,
ahead of Patterson, even at his age, ahead of Young. But so no one comes close to that. But considering his age, considering his injury record, considering where you've just mentioned Everton's, situation where they've got limited, people at that, on the right back berth, I just think sometimes you need to be smart and prioritise what is, what
Seamus prioritise.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, why should he prioritise?
Because, he keeps getting injured for one.
That's not in any other football club. That wouldn't happen. If he comes back, he gets injured. So what? There's another right back to come in. But that's not his problem.
No, I agree. But he's also Everton's captain. Can we afford to have our captain not play 30, 35 games?
Again, that's not Seamus Coleman's problem. I totally accept what you're saying, and a lot of Evertonians it will probably agree with you.
He's got no responsibility at all.
Well, he's a professional footballer that wants to represent his country, and he wants to obviously play football for Everton, and he's trying to do both. Now, because Everton are being inept in terms of recruitment in his area, in his field, I'm not going to even say under the last 3 or 4 years, with this current ownership in terms of Kevin Thelwell, you could go back to, obviously, Marcel Brands and Steve Walsh. They haven't recruited the right back decent enough to challenge Seamus Coleman in 15 years. So that's not his fault. He's allowed in his defence, maybe I'm playing the devil's advocate here too much, but he's allowed in his defence to play football for his country for as long as he can. Yeah, admittedly, he's coming back injured a lot, but if he was at any other club, there'd be a right back to just come in and slot in. But that's because Everton have recruited wrongly, in my opinion.
I mean, obviously we've brought in Patterson. It's not worked out so far. Dice doesn't fancy him. It's not like we haven't tried to address the situation, is it? That's
down to recruitment. That's down to, was it Frank Lampard or Rafa Benitez that brought him in? I don't know who was it. Was it Kevin Thelwell or Marcel Brands? Whoever the ownership was or whoever was responsible has made an error. There's £15 million gone to waste there by the looks of it straight away. And you can only make the countless arguments of all the right backs we bought in the past. Ben Godfrey played there for large parts of last season. We've sold him and haven't brought a right back in. It's amateurish, in my opinion. So that's not Seamus Coleman's fault. That's a football club's fault.
Seamus Coleman can do what he wants. He's his own person. He can decide. I just think looking at his injury records, how many games did he play for Everton in
7
last season? For a captain of any Premier League football club, I don't think it's whether it's a good look or not is irrelevant. You just want your captain playing. I want Seamus Coleman. Again, I'll reiterate, he's still our best right back, even at the age of 35. I want him playing. I still think he could, on the right fitness path, still play 20, 25 games a season.
Do you really think that with his injury record?
I still think you still see players doing that now. I just think this is our biggest season, well, probably our biggest season ever, and I want Everton's captain because he's good enough to be playing as a right back.
From a selfish point of view, I totally agree. I want Seamus.
I'm being selfish there.
I know, because I want Seamus Coleman to say, Ireland, I'm done. Obviously, I'm picking up a lot of injuries. It's affecting my club career now. I'm calling time on my international career, but he obviously.
He's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it. He's very patriotic towards Ireland, and rightly so. He loves representing them, and he loves being the Everton captain. He's trying to juggle both, and his probably body isn't letting him. But the same token, as I've just touched on there, it's not kind of his fault that there's not someone to deputise him when he is injured, because I guarantee probably the reliance on a 34-year-old injury-prone fullback who's got a lot of miles on the clock probably wouldn't happen in any other Premier League club at the moment the way we've done with Seamus Coleman in the last 10 years.
Just to play devil's advocate on this whole right-back situation, because I agree with you that we haven't brought anyone in who's been able to challenge Seamus at the right-back berth. Obviously, the jury is definitely still out on Patterson. I'm hoping it comes good. Doubt it. But to think Thelwell and Dyche have looked at it with the limited resources that we've got and thought, actually, we might not have amazing quality as backup or even, as your front right back, but at least we've got the numbers. And even with the three that we've spoke about, Young, Coleman and Patterson, you could even probably throw James Garner in there now that Mangala has come in, because James Garner can obviously...
You're giving a bit of a clue for me team here, aren't you?
Maybe. Well, no, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm just trying to say they think we need to strengthen in certain areas across the pitch, probably more in attacking form. We've got three, we've got two right backs and a winger effectively. You can play right back.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get in the mindset.
Yeah. They probably thought about it and thought, right, we need another centre midfielder in, which if they're playing Decore in there, they probably don't need that extra midfielder in there. I know they signed Mangala in on loan, but ideally you've got, obviously, I don't think they probably expected Irabunam to do as well as what he's done, but he's another body in there on top of just a guy, James Garner, who've just touched on. So they're kind of, I wouldn't say top heavy in there, but they could have got away without signing Mangala, to be honest. They've signed another centre forward in Armando Broja, so they've got four centre forwards now, but they're still reliant on the right back berth of Seamus Coleman, so they've got Nathan Patterson there to deputise, as well as Ashley Young. So it's not ideal. I think in hindsight, maybe they will come a time, well, right now, to be honest, where they've looked and gone, maybe we've picked the wrong position in terms of improving, because we left ourselves wide open in terms of the right back berth.